Welcome back to Behind the Mind. When a man you care about is struggling with depression, it can feel confusing, heavy, and urgent all at once. Too often, society teaches us that men should be stoic, that they should handle it, and that their pain isn't as visible or valid. That's wrong, and it costs people their well-being, relationships, and sometimes their lives. So today, we're going to talk about concrete, psychologically sound ways to help a man who's feeling depressed. This is about compassion, practical steps, and emotional intelligence. It's not therapy. It's how to be the kind of person who makes recovery more possible. First, let's clear something essential. Depression isn't laziness, moral failure, or a mood you can snap out of. It's a complex interaction of biology, thought patterns, life stressors, and sometimes trauma. That means your job as a partner, friend, or family member is not to fix him. Your job is to be present, to support, to help him access professional care if needed, and to protect both his dignity and your boundaries while doing so. So, what actually helps? Start with validation. When a man you care about is struggling with depression, it resists the urge to rationalize, minimize, or immediately offer solutions. Saying things like, just think positive or cheer up, are common but harmful. Instead, mirror his emotional truth. I can see this is really hard for you, or I'm sorry you're feeling this way. I'm here. Those sentences sound simple, but they do two powerful things. They acknowledge his suffering, and they make it safe for him to stay present with that feeling instead of shutting it down. Next, listen differently. Listening to someone who is depressed is not about producing clever advice. It's about staying calm while he says the painful things. Use short, supportive responses like, "That sounds exhausting," or "I hear you." Reflecting what he says back to him, not parroting but paraphrasing with empathy, helps him feel understood. When he feels understood, the brain releases fewer stress chemicals and more of the hormones that help social bonding and regulation. That's the quiet neurological payoff of good listening. Be patient with silence. Men often wrestle with shame and fear of judgment when they open up. They may give you fragmented thoughts or they may go quiet. If he withdraws mid-conversation, resist chasing him with questions. A gentle, "I'm here if you want to keep talking," is better than an interrogation. Presence matters more than speed. Your calm endurance is itself a remedy. Practical help beats platitudes. When depression reduces energy and executive function, daily life can feel impossible. Chores pile up, bills become mountains, and the simplest tasks feel exhausting. Step in with small, useful actions. Cook a simple meal, pick up groceries, organize a pile of bills, or handle important calls he's avoided. Don't do everything forever. Do what's needed in the short term and coordinate a plan for shared responsibility. Concrete help signals you are not alone with this. It also reduces continuous stress that perpetuates depressive cycles. Encourage structure, but gently. Depression often breaks routines, sleep schedules, exercise, work rhythms. When someone is depressed, offering to help rebuild tiny routines can be golden. Suggest a short morning walk together, or make a low-pressure plan like, "Let's eat breakfast together tomorrow." Offer to be the accountability partner, not the taskmaster. The key is micro steps: 10 minutes of sunlight, a glass of water, a 5-minute stretch. These incremental wins compound and provide the brain with predictable signals that improve mood over time. Understand the social paradox. Men are less likely to seek help. That's a cultural truth we can change together. But in the moment, it means you may need to offer to book appointments or find resources for him. Offer to research therapists, call to inquire about appointments, or suggest telehealth if leaving the house feels impossible. Normalize help by saying things like, "Seeing a counselor helped me understand myself better," or A doctor can help with the chemistry part. There's no shame in that. Frame help as sensible and responsible, not as a last resort. Communicate about safety. If he talks about self-harm or suicidal thoughts, take it seriously. Don't minimize or promise secrecy. Ask directly, calmly, are you thinking about hurting yourself? If he says yes, get help immediately. Call emergency services, a crisis line, or a healthcare provider. If you're unsure, consult local emergency resources. Your role is to connect him to professionals quickly and to make sure he's not left alone in a moment of acute risk. This is about safety, not blame. Watch your tone and body language. Men are socialized to respond to perceived threat with flight, fight, or shutdown. If your voice is sharp, judgmental, or resentful, he will close off. Show soft eyes, relaxed posture, and slow speech. These nonverbal cues reduce the threat response and invite closeness. You can hold empathy physically by sitting beside him, holding his hand if that's welcome, or offering silence as presence. Validate the small wins. When depression lifts a toe from the water, a shower taken, a text sent to a friend, a step outside, celebrate it without fanfare. Say, I noticed you brushed your teeth today. That's something. This is not about praise for the sake of praise. It's about registering progress and helping his brain mark that action as meaningful. Positive reinforcement converts tiny efforts into sustained habit. Help him rebuild identity beyond illness. Depression can hollow out a person's sense of self. He may stop doing the things that once mattered. Invite him to activities that reconnect him to valued parts of his identity, a creative hobby, a sport, or a volunteer activity, but avoid pressure. Phrasing matters. Would you like to try this once with no expectations is better than you must get back to who you were. The aim is to create gentle, non-judgmental invitations back to life. Use curiosity rather than correction. When you notice negative self-talk or catastrophic thinking, ask gentle questions that invite reflection. What evidence supports that thought? Or, is there another way to view this? This kind of Socratic questioning helps him practice cognitive flexibility without making him feel lectured. A tone of curiosity is disarming. Remember, your goal is to help him notice his patterns, not to dismantle them in a single argument. Set compassionate boundaries. Supporting someone with depression does not mean you should tolerate ongoing disrespect, manipulation, or abuse. You can be present and protect your well-being. Boundaries might look like, I'll sit with you for an hour and then I need to do my work. Or, I hear you, but I can't accept yelling or physical aggression. Clear limits help both of you. They reduce resentment and model stability, which depressed minds desperately need. Mind the language of responsibility. Blame reduces openness. Replace, why are you like this, with, I want to understand what you're going through. Replace, you need to snap out of it, with, I'm here to help you find a path through this. Language that shares responsibility, like we'll figure this out together, fosters alliance, not distance. Encourage social connection without overwhelming. Isolation deepens depression, but so does forced socializing. Offer inviting options, a quiet coffee at a familiar place, a short walk with one trusted friend, or a low-stakes meetup where no performance is required. Give choices and let him lead when the energy returns. The goal is to expand his social safety net, not to flood him with obligations that increase anxiety. Promote sleep hygiene, but stay realistic. Sleep disruption both causes and results from depression. Encourage small sleep supportive behaviors. Screens off an hour before bed, cool bedroom temperature, consistent wake time. If insomnia persists, recommend professional help. Medication or CBT for insomnia are legitimate medical approaches and often necessary. Suggesting solutions gently and offering to implement them together reduces the sense that he's failing alone. Be mindful about physical intimacy. Depression affects libido and comfort with touch. Some men may want closeness but lack energy. Others may feel numb or avoidant. Ask rather than assume. Say, if you want cuddles, I'm here. If you don't, that's okay too. This gives him autonomy and reduces pressure. Emotional closeness can be expressed through simple shared routines, making tea together, sitting side by side, or a reassuring hand on the shoulder. Normalize small, sustainable behaviors that change brain chemistry. Encourage movement, sunlight, and fresh air. Exercise increases endorphins and improves sleep. Sunlight supports circadian rhythm and mood. These are not cures, but they are practical adjuncts to therapy and medication. Offer to join him for a 10-minute walk or to open a window together in the morning. Shared action is easier than solitary willpower. Offer to manage practical logistics of care. Help him find a therapist. Call to schedule an appointment, or research psychiatrists if medication might be needed. Offer to go with him to the first appointment if he wants support. The inertia of managing care is often a barrier. Your willingness to help with logistics can be the nudge that connects him to effective treatment. Watch for substances used to self-medicate. Alcohol, drugs, or excessive screen time may temporarily numb pain, but worsen depression long term. If you're concerned, bring it up gently. I've noticed you're drinking more lately. I'm worried it might be adding to how you feel. Can we talk about that? If there's dependency, involve professionals and consider supportive interventions rather than confrontation. Honor his autonomy and agency. Ultimately, he must choose treatment and change. You can provide scaffolding, but you cannot bear responsibility for decisions he resists. Recognize the limits of your role. When he refuses help, your greatest contribution may be to stay available without enabling harmful avoidance. This could mean declaring what you will and won't do. I will support you emotionally, but I can't take over your responsibilities indefinitely. Keep your support sustainable through self-care. Compassion fatigue is real. If you neglect your own needs, you will burn out and be less helpful. Create a network for yourself, friends, therapy, or support groups, so you have emotional outlets that don't rely solely on him. This models healthy coping and preserves your capacity to be present. Use reminders of hope carefully. Avoid platitudes, but do offer realistic optimism rooted in evidence. Say things like, with help, many people recover their energy and joy. It may take time, but treatment often helps. Hope is a psychological resource. It needs to be tethered to possibility, not empty cheerleading. If things worsen or danger appears, escalate support. Persistent suicidal talk, self-harm behaviors, severe withdrawal, or psychotic symptoms require urgent professional attention. Don't negotiate with danger. Call emergency services, a crisis line, or get him to a hospital. Your rapid action can save a life. Finally, remember the relational value of simple, consistent care. Small, repeated acts of kindness, showing up with a cup of tea, making a playlist you know he likes, texting a short, I'm thinking of you. Create a fabric of care. This fabric is what catches him on bad days and gradually stitches back a sense of belonging. It's not dramatic, it's steady. That steadiness matters more than a single grand gesture. If you want a short checklist to keep at hand, validate feelings, listen without fixing, offer practical help, encourage professional care, ensure safety if necessary, tend your limits, and celebrate small wins. Combine empathy with structure. That combination is potent. Depression is a heavy journey, but it does not have to be traveled in isolation. Men deserve compassion, understanding, and help that respects their dignity. When you meet suffering with presence rather than panic, with practical action rather than platitude, you become part of the solution. Your role is not to cure, but to connect, and connection changes outcomes. Thank you for being the kind of person who wants to learn how to show up. If this helped you, please like and subscribe to Behind the Mind.